Hey my lovelies, it's your girl Nyx Love and I am back at it again with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys step by step my everyday makeup routine. I would not say that I do this every single day, but this makeup look is my staple. This is something that I pretty much always do and it's always my go-to. If you guys would like to know how I achieve this look, then please keep watching. I've already done my brows off camera, so if you guys would like a detailed tutorial on that, please leave a comment down below. The first thing that I like to do in my everyday makeup routine is color correct. As you guys can see, I do have dark under eye circles and they're also very hollow, as you guys can see, so I definitely want to lighten that up a little bit, as well as any kind of discoloration around this area. The color corrector that I like to go in with is the Lancome color corrector. I believe this is the peach color. I love this one because it blends in really nicely with my skin. I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that. And then whatever's left over, I like to put it right over here. Now I'm going to be getting a blender brush and I'm going to just be blending it out. So once it's nice and blended, I like to go in with a beauty sponge just to make sure that all the areas that I applied it is nice and seamless on my skin. I use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer before I apply my foundation. I forgot to say this, but yeah, this is the one that I use and I absolutely love this primer. This is my favorite primer. It's like so moisturizing and it just goes so good with my skin. So my next step is foundation. I have a very love and hate relationship with foundation, but on the days that I do use foundation, I do go in with my NARS foundation. So I'm just gonna be taking a tiny bit of that foundation. Maybe like just around the lines of here. And then I'm going to just blend it out. Now, whatever I have left over on this beauty blender, I like to just apply it on my forehead. So then after that, I also just use a little bit right over here. And you know, whatever's left on the beauty blender, I just apply it to my neck. And then maybe a little bit on my ears. So once I've applied my foundation, now it's time to do my concealer. I'm gonna be going in with my all-time favorite. It's the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I'm going to be applying it on my under eyes, on the top of my Cupid's bow, on my chin, and a little bit on the top of my forehead. Okay, so now I'm going to let that dry a little bit so it can get a little bit tacky and easier to blend. Once it's become tacky, I'm just going to be blending it out. Now I'm going to be going in with a beauty blender and I'm going to be blending it out just a little bit more. I like blending out my concealer with a brush first and going in with a beauty blender because the brush does not take away a lot of the product. And that makes it easier for me to blend. And then I go in with the beauty blender just a little bit. I don't overdo it because I don't want the product to be sucked in. I've always used a beauty blender for years and it has always made my blending seamless. That's why I go over it after I blend it out. So anything that's like left over that I don't have blended yet really helps. So once it's blended, I'm going to be going in with some powder. I'm going to be using my Morphe powder in the color Banana, and I'm going to be applying it in the areas where I applied my concealer. Just take my beauty blender and basically press it under my eye. So once I've applied that powder, I'm going to be going in with a big blender brush, and I'm just going to be brushing away all that excess powder. I'm going to be doing some eyeshadow. Now, since this is my everyday, I don't like to go full out with eyeshadow. I'm very minimal with it. I'm going to be going in with my Huda Beauty Nude palette, and I absolutely love this palette. This is one of my favorites. I just love the blendability. I love how good it looks on the skin. I'm going to be taking a small blender brush, and I'm only going to be focusing it on the outer corners of my eye. So with this nude palette, I absolutely love this nude palette. It has a lot of pinks, browns, and light browns. So the first shade that I'm going to be going in with is this more warmer brown kind of color. So now I'm going to be going in with a larger blending brush, and I'm just going to be blending it upwards. I'm going to be going in with this more darker kind of reddish brownish shade, and I'm going to be using an even smaller brush, and I'm going to be doing the same motion. And on this part, I'm really trying to only focus on the outer corner. Now I'm going to be getting that buffer brush again, and I'm just going to be buffing it out. So now what I'm going to be doing is going in with the darkest shade on the palette, and I'm basically going to be creating a wing with the eyeshadow, if that makes sense. I'm going to just dip it a little bit and then kind of create a wing. So it's gonna look something like that. So after I've done that, I'm going to just be blending it out as much as possible. Next, after that, what I'm going to be doing is getting some concealer and kind of winging it out. That way that the eyeshadow can be really crisp and defined. I'm going to be taking this flat brush, and I'm going to just add a little bit of concealer to it. And then I'm going to just be winging it out. And then I'm going to drag the rest of that concealer down. And as you guys can see, my eyes instantly look lifted, and that's the effect that I want because I personally like it. Okay, so after that, it is now time to bronze. I'm going to be going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in the color Saddle, and I'm going to be getting a contour brush, and I'm going to just be patting it and basically just applying it to the top of my cheekbone. Okay, now I'm going to add some to my forehead. I go heavy on the bronzer because I just love how it looks on me. I just love when it's really nice and bronzed up. So that's pretty much what I like to do. I like to go in with that same bronzer and just kind of create like a mini nose contour. I don't want to do too much. And you know, I just apply it on the ends of my nose. And then I add it right over here. Okay, so once we are all bronzed up, I'm going to be getting a blender brush and I'm just going to be blending all of the areas where I applied the bronzer. And I'm just gonna blend out my nose. Okay, so now that everything is nice and blended, I'm going to be getting the edge of this beauty blender and dipping it in some powder, and I'm going to be applying it right here just so that the contour slash bronzer can be nice and sharp. And then I'm going to be just kind of getting some more of that product and kind of blending it downwards. And I also kind of like to apply just a little bit right here, just so that my highlight can kind of be just a tiny bit more defined. I'm going to be taking a little bit more concealer and then just applying it right on the bridge of my nose. And then I'm going to blend it out. I'm going to be going in with my Milk Makeup blush. So I'm just going to be applying that right over here, like this, and like this. And then just a little bit right here. I'm going to be getting my beauty blender and I'm going to just be blending it out. So my all-time favorite highlight, I love to go in with the Becca highlighter in the color Champagne Pop. I'm gonna be getting a little bit of that product and then just putting it right over here. Right here. I'm gonna be taking my big buffer brush and just buffing that out. Now that our face is almost complete, I'm going to be going in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray, and I'm just going to be applying it on my face. So once my lashes are applied, I'm going to be going in with my NYX Lip Liner in the color Cocoa. And then after, I like to go in with my NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Abu Dhabi in the color Cairo. So really quick, let me show you guys like a little close-up of how the makeup looks so you guys can see it up close. That is it for my everyday makeup routine. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to like, comment, and most importantly subscribe, and click that notification bell to be notified every time that I post. Bye, lovelies.